On a much more serious note, 5 alleged cartel members are now in custody after the kidnapping and killings of 4 Americans in Mexico. Authorities say they found the 5 men tied up near a pickup truck with an apology note allegedly turned in by cartel leadership. Our Matt Rivers is in Mexico City with the latest.
This morning, the stunning image. 5 men tied up near a truck in Mexico, blamed for the kidnapping of 4 Americans, allegedly turned over by the powerful drug cartel they belong to. A handwritten note on the truck's windshield claiming to be from the Gulf Cartel, saying, quote, "We have decided to deliver those involved and directly responsible." The images obtained by ABC News from a source close to the investigation also include this photo of guns, ammunition, and body armor found in that truck. The men blamed for this horrific abduction, caught on camera a week ago, that left 2 Americans dead. On Thursday, state police finding them at the same spot in Matamoros where the kidnapping took place. The men now in custody, though authorities not confirming whether these 5 were involved. Multiple Mexican law enforcement sources tell ABC News the cartel note is believed to be legitimate, but neither ABC News nor U.S. officials have been able to verify the authenticity of the letter's claims.
The cartel has been known to police itself when necessary. And it's not of any surprise that they're under a lot of pressure to put this behind them and try to distance themselves as best they can.
Now new details emerging about the Americans' trip before they crossed into Mexico for a cosmetic procedure. A 5th person traveling with them, Cheryl Orange, left behind in Texas because she didn't have the proper ID, speaking out to CNN overnight.
She hit me up and asked me to join her, to accompany her, and we began the road trip. I didn't have proper identification, so I couldn't join her to go across to the border, which left me back at the hotel.
The group then going on without her, seen here live streaming from Mexico shortly before they were kidnapped.
Said that they would return in 15 minutes. 15 minutes had gone by, they were not there. I called the cops immediately.
4 days later, after an urgent search, officials finding Latavia McGee and Eric James Williams alive inside this wooden shack just outside of town. The bodies of their friends Shaid Woodard and Zindell Brown at the same location. Investigators also locating 5 vehicles, including a stolen Lamborghini and an ambulance used to transport the victims in Matamoros. And overnight, the bodies of Woodard and Brown brought back to the United States. Woodard's father remembering him on the day he would have turned 34.
That was my youngest child. You know, that he was my baby, you know. And for him to be taken from me like that, it was very, very hurtful. A parent never expects to lose a child.
No, they shouldn't. And Matt Rivers joins me live now from Mexico City for more on this. Matt, you say it may have been cartel leadership that turned these guys in. Why turn in your own guys? How are Mexican authorities explaining this?
You know, as strange as it might sound, this is something that has happened before in Mexico. There's this kind of false code here in Mexico where different Mexican cartels like to think of themselves as some sort of Robin Hood organization. They don't attack innocents. They don't do anything wrong like that. They only attack people who quote unquote deserve it. We all know that that is total BS, to be quite frank. And yet that is like what they like to do on a public, you know, like a PR basis. So we have seen cartels do this sort of self-policing before, all the way out in Sinaloa in the west part. The Sinaloa cartel, the Gulf cartel itself has done this before. So it's not something totally out of the blue. That said, investigators are looking at this. They're talking to these 5 men to see if they actually are those responsible for this kidnapping, or if this is all some sort of just an elaborate ruse to try and get some of the heat off of the cartel at this point. We are expecting Mexican officials, Diane, to update this a little bit later today.
All right, Matt Rivers in Mexico City, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.